Okay, so in last week's video, we talked through the 5 different layers of systems, automation, and AI that we're rocking here within BTP. In this week's video, as promised, I want to talk through the 3 biggest lessons that I've learned throughout my whole journey. So as I mentioned last week, we've been going down this whole process, this whole pathway since 2016. It's probably even earlier. I probably started the business. My favorite book, if anyone ever asked me what's a book that kind of changed your life, E-Myth. E-Myth, I freaking love E-Myth. And it started my whole systemization journey. And I read that before I started the business. So yeah, the reality is I probably did start down this path way before 2014, but hardcore went down this path from 2016 onwards. So been about a journey of 10 different years. 10 years, you know what I'm trying to say here. So first point I want to make is that I am by no means an expert in this space. I am still learning as I go. I'm still making mistakes as I go. I just thought it might be helpful, like I said last week, because I'd had these questions come up a couple of times last week, to kind of share some tips with you guys, some thoughts from my perspective. You can take it, you can leave it, you can do whatever you want with it. So the first point I want to talk about, and I've got my little post-it note here, so I make sure I remember my points. The first point I want to talk about is start small and build up bigger. So we always say when it comes to developments in the town planning world, you're an absolute idiot. I will say that strong word, you're an idiot if you jump from never doing any sort of subdivisions up to doing a 30 lot or a 50 lot subdivision. Like every subdivision application has surprises, curveballs, learning lessons along the way. You want to learn on those small projects and build up, build that knowledge base so that once you get to those bigger projects, those mistakes and those lessons don't hurt so much. Exactly the same when it comes to this whole systemizing, automation, AI type world. If you dive straight in the deep end without fully understanding the tools that you're working with and all of the sort of the ways that you need to approach it, it's going to be a shit show. And I'm not going to sit here and say I'm immune to it. There's every probably 6 months, there's a moment, maybe every 12 months now, I'm starting to learn where I go, I can see the goal. I just want to jump ahead. I'm just going to go big, go hard, make it happen. And every single time I end up getting frustrated, having to go back to square one, and usually abandoning the project and giving up. Whereas if I'd started small and built up in increments, it would have had a higher chance of success. So yeah, don't come up with this massive airy fairy goal and just go deep and go hard. Start small, learn the lessons, get to know the technology, and build up slowly from there. That's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is go off the shelf. Okay, so when I say off the shelf, I mean something that's a pre-made kind of product or something that has a high level of support out there. So if you go on Upwork and you type in a keyword based on whatever sort of automation or AI sort of path you're planning to go down, see how many experts come back. If you get like 1 or 2 global experts, then you go, oh, this is super niche. Or if you've got someone who comes to you and goes, I'm doing something totally new and totally out there that's never been done before, I'm not going to say that's a sign to give up or walk away, but it's a sign to see, it's a red flag, basically. You've got to seriously sit down and consider, is this worth going ahead with? Because if that person leaves on you, or if their workload suddenly goes through the roof and their availability shrinks, you're going to be ripping your hair out and you're going to be like, oh my goodness. Or if they suddenly realize the power that they have, their price is going to go through the roof and you're going to be regretting your life choices. So I would strongly encourage you, go something that is just all over the world, everyone's using, and or something that there's a high number of specialist contractors available through a platform like Upwork, so that if one disappears or one starts overcharging or whatever reason, you can migrate to someone else and get that extra support. Final thing, I strongly believe you've got to go systems, automation, then AI. You, in my personal opinion, this is probably going to be contradicted a little bit. Some people will sit there and say, no, well, not contradiction is not the right word. Disagreed with is the better word. People are going to sit here and say we disagree with this, especially with AI being what it is, which is more goal focused these days. You give it the goal, you work backwards. I still strongly believe you've got to start with the systems. So you've got to document the process to create what you want to create. Then you've got to come up with the automation, so the ways to try and remove some of the human error, the time delays, make it more efficient, etc., associated with the systems. And then finally, you can get to the point of using AI to feed off that information to create the goal that you want. And it kind of leads into, I was going to make this a 4th point and I decided 3 sounds good, so I'll just merge it with this last one, which is you cannot abdicate or fully delegate this sort of stuff. So as the business owner, and again, I'm guilty of this, there are so many times where I'm just like, I don't have the headspace for this. I don't have the, I was about to say time. Time's the wrong word. Everyone has time. It's not high enough priority for me to give up parts of my day to be actually working deep in this sort of space. I just want to tell you what the goal is, what I want you to achieve, and I want you to work it out. It never works. Just trust me. It never, ever works. You end up ripping your hair out. You end up going back to square one, starting again, questioning your life choices, all of that sort of stuff. So yeah, if you start small, start with the systems, write the process out, then you go and automate it using Zapier and all of that sort of stuff. Then you look at the AI opportunities, you're going to have a higher chance of success. Because if you go, and one of the people that came to me last week, the specialist that wanted the PETA type site report, she's like, oh, I'm just going to tell them to create this property report. And I'm like, okay, so you tell them you want them to create a special property report. What does special property report mean to someone who's not in our world, who's not in the property world? It could mean a singing property report, like it could mean a dancing property report. I'm using stupid examples here, but you get the idea. Basically, you're not going to be able to, you're going to waste a lot of time. That's what I'm trying to say. You're going to waste a lot of time in terms of going back, going forward, going backward, going forward, and you're probably going to rip all your hair out. Whereas, yeah, if you start at the beginning, work your way up. I'm not really doing a good job of explaining this. I want to say just trust me. Okay, so let's think about this. Why? Okay, so just to recap, you want to start small, you want to go off the shelf / use a product or something that there is a lot of support or help for out there. And last but not least, you want to start at the beginning with systemization, then you want to automate, then you want to move to AI. That is my personal take, for what it's worth, on how to approach all of this process. And I know it's so easy to get caught up in the hype and to want to chase the bright, shiny ideas that everyone's freaking out there. Take it from me, as someone who's spent way too much time, way too much money on this stuff over the years. It's better if you do it this way. Just trust me. Okay, so I think that covers off everything I want to talk about today. As I always like to say, until next time, thanks for watching.
For all you red tape lovers out there, I have one thing to say. Well, no, actually, I've got three. Number one, the advice provided in these videos is general in nature. It's not site-specific. You would be a silly Billy to go and make financial decisions based on this advice without first checking with the town planner. Don't be a silly Billy. Number two, Brisbane town planning is in no way linked to Brisbane City Council. The views expressed in these videos are my own, not council's. So if you don't like them, blame me, not council. Number three, what was my number three? Oh yeah, the views expressed in these videos are accurate at the time of recording. If you're watching this video back 10 years from now, the views may not be so accurate. That's all.